Welcome, everybody. This is episode 17 of the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. I am TC Fontaine, joined by my co-host Malik Riggs.
Yo, what's up? What's going on?
How's it going, Malik, man?
Man,
How was your Thanksgiving, man? I'm exhausted. Like, I flew out of town for Thanksgiving. I got back Sunday night. I'm still tired. I'm still trying to catch up on sleep and get energized, but we good, man. I had a good holiday.
Yeah, I ate a little bit too much.
I did too, man. I definitely did. Like, I went over to my aunt's house. Like, my mom cooked and everything, and then we went over to my aunt's house, ate over there, came home, ate back home again, stuff that my mom cooked. Eating on that all weekend, had some other stuff. Like, yeah. And I have a really busy, couple weeks, too. This weekend, next week is finals week. I got finals this week. I got the rodeo. I'm working.
You working the rodeo?
I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be so busy. And I'm going to be eating some bullshit some more because I won't have time to, cook or go to the store, anything like that. So, yeah. And Christmas is coming up right after that.
Man,
I might gain 30 pounds between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I feel it, bro.
Yeah.
I feel it. I got nieces I gotta buy something for.
Yeah, I gotta buy something for my cousins, man, my little baby cousins.
Yeah, I got a nephew and a step nephew, so I was like, yeah, I got a couple things to buy. So
I've been gone so long, so I was concerned my little baby cousins would forget me. One of them did. One of them.
Who is you?
She turns 2 in May. And so she didn't really know I was. So she apparently mean mugs people because she gave me this dirty ass look. She kept giving me dirty looks the whole time.
She didn't know who you were.
And then I fed her some dessert, and then she was cool.
Oh, yeah, she was cool in there. That's how you get on that food. They good. They straight.
Yeah. All you gotta do is feed kids, and then it's a go. But
yeah, I want to see my niece and my actually both of my nieces, and they get so big. One talking, the other one walking. One of them like to beat up dogs. So yeah.
Some badass kids.
They pretty funny already to me, man. So yeah. And my brother come to me like, yeah, she like to beat up dogs. Like, what?
Bragging about it though.
Yeah, because he was a maniac himself as a child. So
hey, people. That's why I'm glad I wasn't no badass kid. And that translated into me being an adult because now I'm scared to get in trouble. I was scared to get in trouble as a kid. I'm really scared to get in trouble now. So I do the bare minimum of illegal stuff, which is speeding, shoplifting little things at the self-checkout. I might, throw a pack of gum in my bag without scanning it. It's little stuff like that. But all those dudes just be going out here just committing robberies. And
I don't know. My cousin.
Must be the thrill.
Like the stuff my cousin was telling me this week, he just got out. I'm like, bro, what y'all don't like your freedom or something? I don't know.
Man, but holiday season. Unfortunately, people get busy and don't have a lot of time to watch a whole lot of wrestling. I tried my best to watch certain things when I had time to. And I just wasn't paying attention to a lot of what was going on.
That was me.
But, we're gonna run down a little bit of these. We have 4 shows. We had AEW, Dynamite. We had NXT. We had SmackDown and Raw.
Didn't Starcast come on Sunday too?
And Starcast, which I have not watched yet.
I have not watched
Starcade, excuse me.
Yeah, Starcade.
I haven't watched that yet either. And
I wish they would make that a bigger event instead of just.
They should. That was WCW's WrestleMania. So I seen somebody say it made a lot of sense now. They said, imagine AEW buying out WWE, however long down the line, taking all their intellectual property and then airing a glorified house show on the AEW network and titling it WrestleMania.
That would be ridiculous.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
But they do load the card. They make it special for the people in attendance. And it has just like this loaded card. And people only get to see an hour of it on the network. So,
yeah, and like to
I
me,
guess for the
like,
people in attendance, it's cool. But
I feel like make that something special. You know what I mean? Like make that something where we get to see something. Like even if you get to bring back some of the old wrestlers and like that's the moment you bring them or something. You know what I mean? Like how ECW, like they had ECW one night stand.
It's called the next Saudi Arabia show, Starrcade. And I mean, they already try to book it like it's a
that
WrestleMania Junior.
Sense. But people they would hate that too.
Oh yeah, they would.
Respect Starrcade.
It's so disrespectful to WCW's legacy, blood money show. Like, hey man, chill. Just chill. But yes, I didn't watch Starrcade. I have not watched. This is the last episode of NWA Power without what's his name, Jim Cornette. So yeah. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get back on that.
Melina's back. I see.
I heard.
Melina's back.
Yeah. I was watching. I watched Impact tonight. It was the first time I've been able to watch Impact since they started their show on Access.
Yeah, are they still doing it like old type style?
It looked exactly the same as it did when they were on Twitch.
Maybe that was just last week. They did like some old weird looking type style show, and it was just
like a retro TNA.
Yeah,
I think I heard about that.
I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it.
I watched it tonight. It was pretty entertaining.
Okay.
RVD is a good promo now, which is weird. Like he's never been a good promo, but he was talking shit. He's really. I like this heel RVD character. That's one thing that's gonna make me tune in because Rob Van Dam has been one of my favorites since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so
I used to hate RVD for a while though.
For
like,
real?
He's always
because he was beating Jeff Hardy ass.
Yeah. That's the one. Like because back then we thought it was real, so we took it serious.
Yeah.
So when he would beat Jeff Hardy, I used to be like, man, F this dude, right? I want to see him.
I feel you. I was the same way when people was beating RVD ass. So I was like, Brock Lesnar came in and whooped RVD ass at the King of the Ring.
Bruh.
I was like, I cannot rock with this dude, Brock Lesnar. And then he, like, Brock, it's kind of the same way they book Brock Lesnar now is this unbeatable force where he's like, he barely loses. And so when he first came in, he was wrecking everybody. And then he won the belt off of The Rock. I was really like, damn, that's my favorite wrestler. You beat RVD and The Rock. You beat my favorite guy. You beat Jeff Hardy. You beat Jeff Hardy ass and Matt Hardy. He was killing all my faves when I was 9 years old. I did not like that shit.
I feel it.
He won the belt. When he won the belt, I really thought, man, nobody's ever gonna beat him for the belt. And the Big Show beat him, and then so they kind of cooled Brock down a little bit to where it did seem like he was getting beat. He was getting just unbeatable. But dang, man, I'm gonna tell you.
I love
I love Brock. I don't know how people could hate Brock, honestly, especially when you see him do regular people stuff.
Yeah, and I think people don't understand like the thing with Brock is what like I hope they do with CM Punk if he comes back to wrestle. Like we could look at two different wrestlers. You look at Brock and you look at somebody like Bobby Lashley. You know what I mean? Like remember when Daniel Bryan first came back to wrestle?
Yeah,
we was like we couldn't wait to see that. But now we see him every week, and it's like, oh, cool, Daniel Bryan's wrestling. You know what I mean? A couple years ago, we would have like people really would have paid $60 in pay-per-view to see him wrestle when he was retired. Bobby Lashley when he came back. It's just, once they come back full time, they lost their steam. One thing about Brock is, me personally, I've always hated when they put the title on because I'm like, I'd rather you put it on a full-time guy. Yeah, that's the thing. He doesn't need it. But
I understand it, but he don't need it. Like, he's an attraction all in his own.
Exactly. He like the Undertaker.
Yeah,
it's like putting the title on. Well,
because
even when they put the title on Golden
Bird.
Remember when they put the title? Yeah, the Universal title. Like he did not need that. But okay.
I see why they did it with Goldberg, just because he was on the cover of 2K, right? Or was he like a downloadable content? Or
yeah. I think he was on the cover.
Yeah. So for that reason alone, I want to double check that because I feel like we're wrong about that. But with Goldberg,
maybe it was Roman Reigns or something. No,
I feel like it might have been Seth, or it might have been. Oh, it was Brock.
Oh, it was. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Brock was on the cover, but Goldberg was in the game.
Okay.
So for that, I mean, promoting your video game, I understand it. He was only champion for like a month and a half. Yeah. You knew he was gonna lose, but it was a better run than what he had the first time, and I think that's all he wanted. And it was dope. I mean, at the expense of Kevin Owens and his title reign, Kevin Owens was always a long-term transitional champion anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can really complain about it in hindsight. I mean, Kevin Owens, during his reign, he was a third most important part of it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, the most important part of it was a clipboard, and the second most important part was Chris Jericho. So we need to get Kevin Owens another legitimate title.
Right now, to me, is a perfect time. His like I haven't seen a promo I haven't liked from Kevin Owens in a minute.
Kevin, we could talk about it a little bit because it's one of the few things I enjoyed about this week's episode of Raw. I think it's just that holiday hangover, whereas we're not probably gonna get too much good wrestling.
No.
For the next like 5-6 weeks.
That's okay.
On either AEW and WWE. Yeah, I don't think they're really gonna really give us too much great content over the next few weeks.
I mean, get the guys some times off. Let them go chill with their family. Like,
yeah.
I mean, let them go chill with their family, rest up. You know, before the WWE Network, I used to always say, I wish they would give the wrestlers like a little off season or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like after WrestleMania, give them like maybe 3-4 months off. Let them come back and do all that. But now we have all these shows. It's like kind of impossible. No, what was it? It wasn't before the network. It was around like 2014, 2015. I was saying that because I was like, they could air NXT in the place of Raw and SmackDown and get those guys exposure for the next 4 months, or put out documentaries and shows, like show little shows and stuff like that, just to get people out there. But it's too far gone now. And plus, they're number one. What's the number one reigning show? They haven't missed a week in how many years?
Oh, Raw?
Yeah.
27 years.
That's crazy.
28 years. That's insane. 26 years. Going on 26.
And they have not missed one show.
Going on 27. I'm sorry.
But you know what made me mad about that?
I'm like a few months older than Monday Night Raw.
I would never forget the time I was going to watch Monday Night Raw. I was at my dad's house. My mom didn't have cable, so my dad lived with my aunt, and I was like, that's when I thought Raw was still on Spike, because like, mind you, I didn't have cable, so I'm like, hey, cuz you switch it over to Monday Night Raw, it's on Spike, and then we was waiting for it. It never came on, and then my cousin go, maybe they just didn't come on this week, and I was like, bro, you lying, like that come on every week. Like, no, right. you gotta be lying. So I didn't watch it. But then, like, now that I hear they've been running for that long, my cousin, like, blatantly lied in my face so he could watch the game.
That's tough. That's tough. I had kind of a similar, like, story like that. So you remember the episode of Raw? It was shortly after Survivor Series in 2001 when WCW and ECW lost to Team WWF.
Oh.
And shortly after that, like a week or two after that, Undertaker turned heel and forced JR to kiss Vince McMahon's ass in front of JR's friends and family in Oklahoma. And I was watching Raw that night, and I never watched Raw like that often. I hadn't watched wrestling in probably a year at that point. That drew me in. That hooked me in. I was like, I gotta watch next week because I thought they was gonna follow up on that. They didn't, but I thought they was gonna follow up on it. So I'm watching the next week, and JR still doing commentary. His usual self and shit. I was like, you ain't about to. I know you can't really do nothing, but you don't want to get no revenge.
No kickback.
Or nothing. But I watched it, and then I was over my grandma's house. I spent the night over my grandma's, and my mom had like a school assignment or something, and she had to do overnight or whatever. And I stayed over in my grandma's house, and my grandma wouldn't let me watch the rest of it. She made me go to bed. And so I'm like, dang. So my grandma come into the room like later, and she's like, your mom let you stay up and watch wrestling? I was like, yeah. Like, we was watching it last week. So she let me watch it. So I turned the channel back on. It was on commercial, everything. I was like, hey, I'm gonna watch it. And the commercials was long. Come back, man. Star Trek was on.
Oh,
like, yeah, it's over.
What
time do it end? I didn't know what time it ended. I didn't know. Because they had the long overrun. So the overrun the week before went long.
Yeah.
So it would still be on at the time. And so I was really hurt, and I didn't watch again for like 3 more weeks. And then Triple H came back, and I've been watching every week since. So
speaking of like Star Trek and stuff like that, I remember growing up, right? During the Attitude Era, we would watch what was it? Walker, the Texas Ranger.
hey,
Right before Monday Night Raw came.
It sure was.
I remember that. And
shout out to Walker, Texas Ranger. My acting coach is played Jimmy Trevette or actor Walker, Texas Ranger.
Really?
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, and
so, like, I don't watch it no more just because I'm gonna think like
Modern Family.
No, my mom watched Walker, Texas Ranger like every day.
For real?
Yes, but I don't watch it, and so like I went back home and she had it on, and like I don't want to watch it because I don't want to see. I don't like seeing people I know act.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't want to compare nothing to. I can't see them as the character.
Okay.
Ironically.
Yeah.
Even that's how we learn to see people is but I see them as my teacher. That's how I look at them as. So I can't watch nothing that they're in.
That's what a Ranger is gonna do. Yeah, he low-key had a hard theme song.
He did. Oh man, it said Modern Family. I've never seen an episode of like I've been watching Modern Family for the last 5 years. I know nothing about it at all.
And the Chrisleys.
No, not the Chrisleys. I turned that shit off.
The Chrisleys come over at like, no, I'll leave it on sometimes.
Chrisleys used to come on after SmackDown. I turned that shit off.
I used to turn like once the show goes.
That's like MASH.
Pop up.
Like so you see MASH come on, like I forget
it's time to go to sleep
before MASH. But as soon as that shit come on back when I was like 7, I would turn it off so fast. I don't want to see this. Because it was boring. I don't know. And MASH ran for like 20 years almost.
I don't know how.
Like, what was this show about? Like, I know it's clearly some military stuff, but that's all I know. Like Modern Family, I don't know nothing about that show. I've been watching it. I've been watching Mondays and Tuesdays since 2016, right?
Never watched a full episode at all.
Now come on Wednesday sometimes. I don't know what this is about. That's why I like when they show Law and Order before the show now. Like when they show Law and Order before, I enjoy that. Cause you can see Ice-T
right
on there.
Yeah.
See, shout out to Olivia Benson, man. So I love Law and Order, SVU. That's my stuff. So
that's crazy. That's how you used to really be like really want to watch wrestling. Like Then once I found out WCW came on, like I didn't know what WCW was like until I was like Attitude Era. I had to be about 3 years old. That's how I know. Like I vividly remember these things, but I was like probably 3. Like the only thing I really remember from that time. But once I found WCW, I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this until Raw come on. But we will always watch like the last 10 minutes of Walker Texas Ranger.
That's
If
how.
that's what a Ranger is gonna do.
And then they used to show was like NCIS. They still show that sometimes before Raw. NCIS. What's the one? Is that the one with LL Cool J?
Yeah, I think so.
And what else did they show, man? I totally forgot, dude. I don't even remember. I remember when I was like 12 on Monday nights, they used to show Fear Factor.
Oh yeah.
They used to show Fear Factor on what channel? They used to come on NBC. And I watched that every week right before Raw. I was like, go Fear Factor and then Raw. And then I'll just take my ass to bed because I got school in the morning. But
Yeah.
man, I used to love me that shit, man.
Remember Raw used to come on Spike.
Man.
Spike was a good network, man. I don't like this Paramount network stuff. Spike used to be a real good channel.
I used to watch everything on Spike.
Yeah.
Like Joe Schmo Show. That was my stuff. And I feel like they should bring that back. They should really bring that back. Just have the same thing, a fake reality show, but it's actually, how they did it.
Yeah.
You ever used to watch like Most Extreme Elimination Challenge on Spike?
No. What was that?
It was like this Japanese game show, but they dubbed it with English commentary.
Like New Japan?
Kinda, but it was kind of like you ever seen the show Wipeout?
Yeah. Oh, it's like when they had to like go through the boards or something like
Yeah, they
that.
do like
Yeah, I
all
know
the
what you're
different
talking about.
physical challenges, but
Yeah.
it was in Japanese and they had English commentary dubbed over it. It was funny as hell though.
No, I remember when ECW used to come on. They used to have a show at the
On
ECW
TNN.
called no, I'm talking about like 05, Me to Me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that ECW. They had a show called Chase on Sci-Fi. They used to come on. I used to be like, oh,
Oh,
this
they had like the ghost hunters or whatever that show is
yeah,
called.
yeah. I to this day I can never understand why the WWE go to Sci-Fi. Like the show just do not mix with the network at all.
That was a network's decision. That was
Oh,
NBC's
for real?
decision. Yeah, because they had to deal with USA and NBC Universal own USA. They own Sci-Fi, a couple other channels, and so NBC Universal was like, "We're gonna put this show on here because it's an alternative to WWE." And so they put on the Sci-Fi, and that's when we got the fucking zombie and all the
Oh my
stupid
god.
shit on there because
Did you
that's what the network wanted.
about this is what Dismember was today or something like that?
Yeah,
Can we
that
like talk about that pay-per-view a little bit? Can we go
but
let's look at that pay-per-view real quick?
what you want to talk about with that pay per view? That pay per view sucked. That pay per view had one good match on it. It was the first match. It was the Hardy Boys versus Eminem. Listen, neither the Hardy Boys nor Eminem were on ECW.
Right.
And that was the best match on the card.
Oh my goodness, man. Oh, I gotta go look at this.
So your best match. So you have ECW. This is ECW's first official pay-per-view since they became a brand.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, TC. Yeah.
It was their first official pay-per-view when they became a brand. They became a brand in June of 2006. So they had their first show, the first weekly episode of ECW was after One Night Stand in June.
Uh-huh.
Right? So this is a first official show since they started the weekly show. 6 months later, they first pay-per-view, 6 months later, right? ECW only, because you had trouble selling tickets. Apparently, this is at least this is what I think is the reason. They had trouble selling tickets, so you had to book the Hardy Boys versus Eminem, teams from Raw and SmackDown, on this ECW show. You made that the first match of the night, and that was the best match.
Can I give it a rundown?
No, all the other, the Hardy Boys and Eminem, the Hardy Boys versus Eminem, and the Elimination Chamber were the only matches announced.
And that was such a good idea with the Elimination Chamber. Like a hardcore Elimination Chamber.
It was. You had
it was a great idea.
It was a good idea, yeah. But the execution was poor. Terrible. All right, so one, the card, the Elimination Chamber roster was Bobby Lashley, Big Show, CM Punk, Rob Van Dam, Test, and Sabu. You have Sabu get taken out earlier in the match. Earlier in the night by whoever the hell knows. I don't even think they explained who attacked Sabu. They had him replaced with Hardcore Holly.
And why did they try to make they made Hardcore Holly seem like he was an ECW original? Like when the show came back, they made it seem like he was just like.
You remember he had that match versus RVD, like he
sliced his back up. Oh yeah.
They used to show that footage all the time in the commercial. The "Don't Try This at Home." They used to show that all the time. But like, dude, this pay-per-view had 2 matches announced beforehand, and those are the only 2 matches that went over 8 minutes.
Stevie Richards.
Go run that down. Run that down.
Okay. Well, this is what it shows on Wikipedia. First match, we have Stevie Richards defeat Rene Dupree in a singles match. Then we had the Hardy Boys
versus a dark match that don't really count.
Oh, that was a dark match. I didn't know that. All right, the Hardy Boys defeated Eminem in a regular tag team match.
Really good match. If you've never seen it, go back and watch it. Like the Hardy Boys and Eminem had some really good matches in late 2006.
Yeah,
they wrestled on this card, and if I'm not mistaken, they fought again a couple weeks later on Armageddon, which I think was the show.
When he got his face smashed.
That's when Joey Mercury got his whole nose busted up. I think it was a ladder match.
Yeah, it was.
It was a TLC match.
That's when they had the ladders right there, and one was kind of tilted.
Yeah, jumped like a seesaw.
Slap. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So shout out to Joey Mercury. He a champ for taking that bump.
But then we had Balls Mahoney, rest in peace, defeat Matt Striker in a Strikers rules match.
Whatever the hell that is.
All right, we had Elijah Burke and I don't know. I'm not even going to try to pronounce.
Sylvester Terkay.
Yeah, I've never even heard of him. Burke defeated the FBI.
He was around for 2 months back then, and then Elijah Burke just started the new brand.
It was 3 tag team matches. All right, then we had Daivari defeat.
Had to fill the card somehow.
Match. Then it was Ariel with Kevin Thorne. Shout out to Kevin Thorne. Defeated Kelly and Mike Knox in a last tag team match. And then we had the Elimination Chamber with Bobby Lashley, Big Show, CM Punk, Hardcore Harley, RVD, and Test. Rest in peace.
Shout
Why wasn't there an Extreme Rules match?
Shout out to Elijah Burke. That's my guy, man. Shout out to Elijah Burke. I want to get him on the show one day.
Yes, sir.
But the Elimination Chamber, first, like you said, man, there was not an Extreme Rules match at all on this show besides the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Which is silly. I don't know what Strikers rules were.
How did that mean? Yeah. They throwing fists for real or something?
I have no idea what the hell Strikers rules match. Apparently, a Strikers rules match was no eye gouging, no hair pulling, no top rope maneuvers, and no foul language. It sounds like a Drew Gulak match.
Did he get hit with a chair?
I don't know.
Oh,
I watched this pay-per-view once. I don't know what the hell. I don't know where this came from. I have the DVD back home. I saw it. I was like, why do I have this show? Who bought this? Who bought this for me? Because I didn't have no money back then. I was broke.
Yeah.
I was broke, broke ass 12-year-old. 13, however old, 13, 14, whatever. I was broke teenager. I didn't have a job. I just went to school. Whoever bought that for me, if I asked for it, I don't know what I was thinking.
Go get your money back.
Yeah, it was probably like $5, but I want that $5 back.
Yeah.
I've watched this show only one time. That's really the only time you need to watch the show, unless you want to watch the first match. Or I mean, the main event was pretty entertaining. The crowd kind of shit all over it when they realized Sabu was getting replaced.
Yeah.
They were really hot for CM Punk. They were chanting for CM Punk a lot.
And
I think RVD eliminated CM Punk first.
Yeah.
Though, and that's who they wanted to win. The crowd wanted CM Punk to win. I think the crowd knew that RVD wasn't going to win it again because I don't think they had any trust in RVD anymore at that point. So who's left to win this? You're not putting the title on Test. You're not putting the title on Bob Holly. Big Show has been the champion for way too long.
Why was he the champ?
So by default, I think everybody. I mean, he was a champ because RVD got busted.
But they didn't have nobody.
It was a really thin roster at the time.
Let me go check those rosters back in.
So like Bobby Lashley wins, but yeah, this crowd wasn't feeling it. The show was a 3-hour pay-per-view, but the show was over in 2 hours. Yeah. And I remember reading articles back then about a lot of people angry and contacting their cable providers looking for refunds because technically you didn't get all that you were promised. You didn't get a 3-hour show like you paid for it. You got a 2-hour show that was shitty. Paul Heyman, that was the last time he did anything with ECW. He left shortly after this show. Apparently he wanted CM Punk to win the Chamber as well.
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon was like, hell no, pal. Putting it on Bobby Lashley. Look at them. Look at that big black man.
Look at that guy.
Look at him. Look at all this beef. Look at all this beef, damn it. Look at all this beef, damn it.
Yeah, I don't know who they could have. I'm looking at the roster right now from 2006.
What was it, 2006 ECW?
I'm looking at Raw and SmackDown. I can't even think. Let me see. But Raw, they had, this is what IGN website has them as: Big Show, Carlito, Chavo Guerrero, Chris Jericho, Chris Masters, Danny Basham. Oh my God. Edge, Eugene, John Cena, Kane, Kurt Angle, Rene Dupree, Ric Flair, RVD, Rob Conway, Shawn Michaels, Shelton Benjamin, Snitsky, Tajiri, Triple H, and the Hurricane. And they only had three. They only had three divas: Lita, Tori Wilson, and Trish Stratus. And then SmackDown roster was Batista, Booker T, Charlie Haas, Chris Benoit, Christian. Christian would have been good for that.
Christian was actually really, really good when he was in ECW.
Yeah.
Like, he kept that show afloat. Like, he kept me tuning in.
Yeah.
I watched every single episode of ECW because I had nothing better to do on a Tuesday night in my teens. And so I would just watch ECW no matter how bad it was. I was watching it every single week.
Mark Jindrak. I mean, he didn't do nothing in 2006. I don't know, bro. It's just I've never been one of those big guys, big show guys. I've never been one of that.
I had the 2006 roster right here.
Okay.
A lot of these names I forgot about. So
I forgot Justin Kimmy was in WWE.
Al Snow, Ariel, Balls Mahoney, Big Guido,
Okay.
Big Show, Bobby Lashley, CM Punk, C.W. Anderson.
Who the hell is that?
Davari, Danny Doring, C.W. Anderson and Danny Doring names sound really familiar to that time. Elijah Burke, Francine, I forgot she was around for a little bit. The Great Khali was the Great Khali was in ECW. I remember that. Hardcore Holly, Jazz. I don't remember Jazz being there.
Jazz.
Just Incredible. I think he was around at the beginning. Kelly, Kevin Thorne, Kurt Angle. I remember Kurt Angle was around.
Yes.
I wish he stayed longer, but he left to TNA about like a month into his stint in ECW. Mike Knox, Matt Stryker, Nunzio, Rebecca. I don't know who Rebecca is. Renee Dupree, Roadkill, Rob Van Dam, Sabu the Sandman, Shannon Moore, Stevie Richards,
Shannon Moore,
Sylvester Terkay, Terry Funk.
Hey,
don't remember that. Test, Tommy Dreamer, who was there the longest out of everybody, Tony Mamaluke, and Trinity. That was the ECW roster in 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys like C.W. Anderson, don't know who the hell that is. Danny Doring and Roadkill were in the original ECW, and I don't remember them being around that long in the new version. But yeah, that pay-per-view was trash. It was really trash.
Yeah.
And that pay-per-view was a testament to what ECW ended up becoming.
Very. I wish they would have stuck to Shane McMahon idea, like when he wanted to make it an online exclusive.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying every match had to be blood and guts, but it was like I remember like when I first watched the first episode.
It was just another WWE show.
It was like a main event. Like I was like, wait, we ain't gonna get no hardcore matches tonight?
It was only ECW in name. And then when they ended up changing the belt and they had like that big silver looking belt.
Yeah.
It's kind of ugly.
Ezekiel Jackson was the last champion to have that too.
ECW was like the brand for, all right, we respect you and your career. You did so much work for us. You deserve to be a world champion, just not on Raw and SmackDown. So
right.
Like Chavo and Matt Hardy and Christian Tommy Dreamer, Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger won the ECW? No, he didn't.
He won it, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah. I think so. Look it up. I can look it up.
I don't remember that. I remember he was there. I remember like Sheamus and Kofi Kingston were there for like a month. But I don't remember Jack Swagger winning.
Yeah, he was the ECW champion. He's the one who introduced that big silver belt because I think he threw it in the trash. I could have sworn it was either Matt Hardy or Christian who introduced it.
I forgot Kane held it too.
Oh, yeah.
And Mark Henry. So that was like the veterans title for a very long time. It went from Chavo to Kane to Mark Henry to Matt Hardy. Jack Swagger won it. He was champ for a really long time. And Christian won it. And Christian, I think, is the only one to win the title twice in the WWE version. No, I'm wrong. Bobby Lashley won it twice. Vince McMahon is a former ECW champion too. Can't forget about that.
When he had the do-rag.
Do-rag Vince. Shout out to do-rag Vince. One time the do-rag Vince. One time for do-rag Vince, man. Yeah. So today is the anniversary, the 13th anniversary of possibly the worst modern WWE pay-per-view of all time. They haven't had a pay-per-view worse since, but they tried really hard with Backlash. And was it 2017?
Yeah, I thought it was 2016. Maybe it was 2017.
It was. I think it was 2017 or 2018. One of them. It was really bad.
Yeah, but one thing I hate the most about this modern ECW Why on the last show? Well, speaking of like
They had a
Jackson,
title match on the last show,
and
and
it
they
switched
changed.
hands.
So technically, Ezekiel Jackson was champion from when he won the match
till the show was over.
Till the show went off of the air. Once the show went off,
like
he wasn't considered champion anymore.
It was like 5 minutes.
I don't think it was 5. I think he had like a 2-minute celebration, and then it just went off of air. What was the point?
What was the point? Exactly.
So we got this dude, Ezekiel Jackson could. He never got over with me, man. He
never.
He was a Ahmed Johnson light.
He didn't even get over
it. He was Ahmed Johnson light. I didn't even know he still wrestled after he left WWE when he was with the Core.
Yeah.
He was Intercontinental Champion. It was during a time when you had so many different forgettable Intercontinental title reigns.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't really remember Cody Rhodes' reign when he brought back the white belt. But after that, Ezekiel Jackson, I think that's won it.
If I'm not mistaken, that's when he had the did he have the that mask like when he's dashing Cody Rhodes and then like he got kicked in the face by Rey Mysterio?
Yeah, that was at the same time.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
But we got a new IC now.
Yeah, I like that new belt. It's fire.
Yeah.
I like the belt.
Let's do that with our regular championships.
I don't think Ezekiel Jackson held the white belt.
Nah, I think he just held the old.
It was before because Cody beat Ezekiel Jackson for the belt.
Yeah.
We had like Cody and Wade Barrett, and Ezekiel Jackson, Curtis Axel, Big E.
Was that when he was managed by Paul Heyman? He was a Heyman guy?
So you had a bunch of forgettable Intercontinental title reigns. I don't think Big E remembers he won the Intercontinental title.
No. I don't think he did either.
Yeah, so we spent way too much time talking about weak-ass ECW.
I mean, it's not much to talk about,
but so we're gonna run down some of these shows over the last week, man, just to catch up on what's new here. Not gonna spend too much time on it. We're gonna start off with NXT from last week on the 27th, the day before Thanksgiving. We had the whole roster came out and celebrated at ringside. Undisputed Era came out, was like, y'all should be thanking us. We the ones that really put NXT on last weekend. We had TakeOver and we had Survivor Series. We put NXT on last week. Not all y'all. You thank us. We the champions.
They not lying.
They not at all. Tommaso Ciampa was out there. Let them know like, hey, y'all lost, fam. But we're gonna take y'all down. We're gonna take it. We got Dijak and Keith Lee challenging for the tag titles tonight. And Ciampa was like, I'm getting Goldie back. Finn Balor came out and was like, nah, fam, you gotta go through me, dog. I'm the big dog around here. So Ciampa and Finn Balor fighting later. And Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish retain their tag titles versus Undisputed Era. Really good match. If you haven't seen it yet, Adam Cole tries to run down and interfere. Keith Lee like houses him literally off screen. Like he flew off screen. Funniest shit I ever seen.
Imagine being in the crowd for that.
Hey, that'll be fun. I'll hear Adam Cole here, bro. I got you. I would have called him and everything. Like,
everybody, I wonder how many people sold that. Like they called him and failed with him. They tried to sell it.
Oh, I would have sold it too. I would have acted like I was hurt too, man. Hey, WWE, man, give me some free stuff, bro.
Yeah,
y'all. I'm out here, my neck hurt, man. I had this big 200-pound muscly dude land on me. I don't know how to take bumps. I'm not trained to take bumps. Like y'all owe me something. Like give me some free tickets over the next year at Full Sail or something.
I hope that was planned. Like I hope that was like on.
I hope they had some plants in at ringside though.
Yeah.
the way because he kind of prepared to jump, so I'm pretty sure that whole spot was planned.
Yeah, good spot though.
It was good to see Mansoor on the show finally. They showed Mansoor winning in Saudi Arabia earlier this year.
Oh yeah,
Mansoor is undefeated on WWE TV. He beat Shane Thorne, Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai. They fought. Dakota Kai is I told y'all. See, I told y'all. Told y'all she was turning heel. Leo Rush and Akira Tozawa, they had a really good match. Yep. Finn Balor, Tommaso Ciampa had an amazing match as well. Afterwards, Adam Cole came out to help Finn Balor, and Finn Balor kicked him in the head.
Like, fuck out of here.
It was like, nah, fam, it's just me.
Right? So I feel like that's coming, the triple threat.
You gotta get Fatal 4-Way. Get Johnny Gargano involved in that too, man. We cannot have him.
I'm a Johnny Gargano guy, but he hasn't been around. Like, I don't know, not yet.
Maybe the takeover in February.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So he should be healthy by then.
Hopefully they could, put him into the picture of this.
Hopefully. You see here, man. I'm trying to find something. I tweeted out my thoughts on the episode of NXT, with Dynamite. And I just feel like it's better to regurgitate my thoughts instead of coming up with new thoughts. So we're gonna run down AEW Dynamite. Shout out to AEW Dynamite.
Yep.
Excuse me. I feel like I was the only one that kind of enjoyed the show because I heard a lot of people, excuse me, which is rare for an AEW show. People,
I'm not a weed smoker by any means. I've never smoked weed a day in my life, but I always hear when people talk about bad weed, they said it's a mid. So that's how we refer to this show as
it was mid.
It was mid this week. It was mid compared to the other shows.
I kind of liked it because
it was before Thanksgiving.
The matches, I enjoyed the matches. We had Pac and was it Kenny Omega? Yeah, like MJF and Hangman, Jericho and Scorpio Sky. I thought you had some good matches. You had a good card. But I could also see where people didn't like this. We had the show. It had like a really unnecessarily long Chris Jericho promo.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. It was entertaining. It was it was a Thanksgiving celebration. I feel like if you're gonna start your show off, don't start it off with like a WWE style 25-minute promo, especially if you're trying to push that you're alternative. It's the day before Thanksgiving, so not a lot of people are watching. But for the people who are watching, don't start your show off with Virgil.
Not at all.
That's not going to keep people.
Soul Train Joe.
Soul Train Jones. Like, don't start your show off with Virgil. Don't start your show off with a long ass promo. How it was entertaining. It just drug on long as hell. So it got to the point I was like, this shit gonna end anytime soon.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho brought his dad out. His dad was in a New York Rangers jersey and talked shit about the city of Chicago and the Blackhawks. That was fun. Yeah. There was a marching band. It was SCU, and they attacked Chris Jericho because Jericho in the Inner Circle beat the shit out of Justin Roberts. Our good friend Justin Roberts, friend of YK Wrestling.
Shout out to Justin Roberts.
Justin Roberts, man. Hope they didn't hurt you too bad.
Man, I forgot to ask Justin. Next year at StarCast, we gotta ask Justin this about the whole Daniel Bryan situation.
I forgot to ask him about that. It's probably in his book.
Yeah.
I want to get his book just because he told us to read it.
I just hate when like I mess up stuff like that. Like that's a perfect opportunity, and I just completely messed it up. But okay,
Hey, it is what it is, man. We got some filler, but Cody came back. Cody had his first match since Full Gear, beat a jobber, made him tap out. This is actually really awkward to me to see Cody Rhodes, doing a figure four.
yeah,
but
very awkward.
it was kind of awkward. But Cody called out MJF, was like, "Get your ass out here." Instead, somebody came from under the ring. Three people. Two people came from under the ring. One of them was Allie, who was in a bunny costume. My issue with that was we didn't know who the hell these people were, and nobody knew who they were besides Excalibur. And Excalibur is explaining who they are. I think my biggest beef with it was don't explain who they are,
Right.
because that leaves room for interpretation open. And for next week, you can explain who they are and explain their motive for attacking Cody and everything.
Yeah.
But instead, nobody knows who they are besides Excalibur. JR didn't know who the hell they were. Excalibur is explaining who they are. Well, he doesn't even explain who they are. He just says their names. Doesn't explain who they are or what they could possibly want. And my biggest issue was, as soon as they all showed up, there is a hashtag ready on the screen. That was my biggest issue. Like the very moment they popped up, it was like, change the hashtag to like Butcher, Blade, and Bunny.
Didn't they do that with Jericho too? AEW bit of the bubble. It was one of the two. Like as soon as he announced the champagne, they
a little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah, like they switched the hashtag to that.
And they had like a hashtag Jericho.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Like hashtag.
I like that one. Even though the GOAT was like,
the GOAT didn't want to come out there.
Not going out there.
Like Jake Hager was trying to bring the GOAT out there. The GOAT kept turning around like, no, I don't want to be out here.
Like, bro, you got people laughing at me and stuff.
Man, Kenny Omega and Pac, that was an okay match. I did not pay attention during MJF and Hangman, but MJF won the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Was presented to it by DDP. DDP was ready for the smoke too. DDP was about to whoop MJF ass.
Man, that Yoga got him like it's Nitro again.
I'm paraphrasing, but DDP said, "I may be 63, but I'll still beat your ass," or something like that. I was like, "Okay, Dallas, turn up." Dustin Rhodes called out Jake Hager. That's who the hell wants to see that match?
What?
If that match happens.
Why is Sammy Guevara 0-3 in singles matches?
I don't know.
After we finish talking, I'll talk about it. After we finish talking about the rest of the results, go ahead.
All right, so but Inner Circle attacked the Dustin Rhodes and the Jackson twins. They're not twins. I really thought they were twins. I found out last week that they are not twins, and Nick Jackson is like 3 years older. They look exactly alike, like they're twins. That really shocked the hell out of me. But yeah, they attacked the Inner Circle, and yeah.
That was it.
And Chris Jericho beat Scorpio Sky to retain the AEW World Title. A couple takeaways from this. Jericho is really entertaining, man. Ray Phoenix might be my favorite wrestler in AEW because I've been noticing lately, like, this dude's kind of cold.
Did you ever go back and watch him versus Nick Jackson? I mean,
no, I haven't watched it.
Go watch that match.
It was on AEW Dark, right? Or was it on Dynamite?
It was on Dynamite.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah, it was. It was on Dynamite.
Okay.
Go back and watch that.
I have to check that out.
Oh my god, amazing.
I think it was Pentagon and or was it Ray Phoenix? It's one of the two. It's taking on Christopher Daniels next week too. So
okay,
that should be a good match. The Dark Order vignettes are really dope too. Yeah, they should have did something like that
when they was coming
before Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
So I mean, better late than never. Scorpio Sky is a star.
Yep.
And I really appreciate Santana stumping dudes out in a pair of Jordan 13. That was enjoyable, man. But yeah, go ahead with what you was going to say. That was my takeaways from this week.
My one thing with AEW is I'm a huge AEW fan. Like since day one, I thought this was a great idea. But we really need a singles title. And I'm looking through the roster and I see guys like Kip Sabian, where he's a really dope wrestler. Joey Janela, I think that would be perfect for him. Even, Jimmy Havoc, I don't ever see those guys right now winning the AEW title. So, like, a singles title would be perfect. Like Sammy Guevara, another guy who he's young, but I think singles title would be good for him. Has Sonny Kiss even been on an episode of Dynamite yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Darby Allin, he's another one who could benefit from a singles title. Like, if they really got to bring one in soon. January, February would be nice. But yeah, it's time to get one of those titles in
there. Bash at the Beach is coming up in January. I think that would be a good time if you want to introduce it.
Yeah.
Have a battle royal. AEW loves their battle royals. So,
or have a 6-man ladder match.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah. That'd be dope.
You got a lot of guys that can do their thing in a ladder match.
Yeah. I think that's the one thing that's missing from me. Because I seen Joey Janela. I don't know if this was like a real tweet, but he was like basically saying he just losing his, his momentum that he's had, that he's tried to build for all these years, which is true. Like he's had a lot of matches on AEW Dark, which I like. But to be a guy like Joey Janela, he should be featured like every week, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's one of those guys.
He should have a better place than what he has, but
mid-card level for that, fighting for that singles title would be perfect, Even Sean Spears, like these guys are just around here fighting for nothing. Like they really just basically having street fights.
It's like Sean Spears is doing the same thing he was doing before that he was complaining about.
Yeah. So but I liked him on commentary. I think after wrestling, he could be a good commentator.
Yeah, him. I haven't listened to it. I think him, like even Samoa Joe, did really well on Monday Night Raw. We could talk about that in a second, but let's move on, man, a little bit here. SmackDown. Sure. We have SmackDown from Birmingham, Alabama. The day
Alabama.
In Birmingham, Alabama. The day before Alabama lost the Iron Bowl to Auburn. Yeah, shout out to Bo Nix and the Auburn Tigers. You got Alabama out of here. They're not even going to the playoffs. It's the first time they missed the playoffs since the playoff happened. Yeah, salute. But we had Roman Reigns come out, talk about he was thankful for everything. He was thankful for being able to lead SmackDown to victory. Baron Corbin came out. They did their, usual whatever. And Roman will fight Robert Roode, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Look, Baron Corbin keeps him some homies, man. I'm gonna tell you, he know how to keep some homies around. Yeah, he know how to keep some goons around. Typically in the form of Dolph Ziggler and somebody else.
Hold on, I'll talk real quick. I'm looking at this shirt from AEW, and I feel like they might get sued.
What shirt?
Pretty soon. It's a Billy Gunn shirt, but it's a D-Generation and has X behind it with the DX colors.
All right, they might get hit with a cease and desist.
Yeah, and they got Suck It on there, and yeah. But anyway, continue.
Oh, yeah.
I send it. I'll send it to you.
They definitely get hit with a cease and desist. Roman Reigns beat Bobby Roode. I still call him Bobby Roode, but Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler attacked Roman after the match. It's Dolph. Attacked him after the match. Corbin as well. Robert Roode said something about Roman's family, and he just lost it. Speared him through a barrier, threw a table on top of him. Baron Corbin looked scared out of his mind. Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse, introduced a new belt for the Fiend. That belt cost $6,500. It's hand-stitched leather, collector's item, and wrestling fans have a lot of money, and so they definitely gonna buy it.
Don't know how.
Like, yeah, where do wrestling fans get all this money from? Like, I guess they got jobs. I guess they got jobs.
And they eat fast food every day.
They got jobs, but I guess they don't have anything else to do. So like they just go to wrestling shows all the time. They travel to every wrestling show.
And that's a lot of money.
They buy a bunch of merch. And that's how they spend their money. I guess like there's a living with the parents joke in there somewhere, but it's too easy.
Oh yeah, they don't pay no bills at all.
Gotta not pay no bills. My biggest issue with this episode of SmackDown was Sasha Banks and Bayley came out and they said all the women on Team SmackDown were losers. And Lacey Evans comes out and punches Sasha Banks in the face with the ladies' right, and Bayley doesn't do a fucking thing. That's supposed to be your girl. That's supposed to be your friend, and you don't do shit when she get knocked out in the. Come on, man.
Your compadre.
That's supposed to be your girl. I mean, you always been the bad friend, Bayley. Can't believe it. Anyway, we got a new Muscle Man song. That shit was fire.
Really?
Yeah. We got like 4 Firefly Funhouse segments on this show. So I remember hearing rumors back that Fox didn't want the Firefly Funhouse to be broadcast on their network, but that's all you see now because you can't have Bray Wyatt appear as regular old Bray Wyatt outside of the Funhouse.
Right.
So you gotta have your champion get promoted somehow. Alexa Bliss came back, helped Nikki Cross versus Fire and Desire. Thought they were feuding like months ago. I guess the Miz, shout out to the Miz. He's kind of like like in the old cartoons, and they had like the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other.
Yeah,
it's like the Miz is the angel and the Fiend is the devil on Daniel Bryan's shoulder, which is odd because I really enjoy how the Miz can kind of show a little bit of empathy for Daniel Bryan's situation, but still hate him at the same time.
Facts.
So the Miz is really trying to think of your family. Don't leave the Fiend alone. The Fiend changes people.
He'll pop up on Miz and Mrs.
Hey, don't say that, though. You don't want the kids to get scared.
Bro, we had Kane.
I think Monroe Sky can whoop the Fiend's ass which is something I want to talk about out there. Hold that thought for a second.
Okay.
While I finish this up. The New Day retained their titles against they had an open challenge, and Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro accepted it. And Cesaro keeps him a tag partner, a random tag partner all the time, don't he? You had Tyson Kidd, you had Sheamus. Now we have Shinsuke Nakamura. But the New Day retained their titles. And then Bray Wyatt, we have another segment with the champ. Daniel Bryan comes out, accepts Bray Wyatt's offer to bring back the Yes Movement back. And Bray Wyatt comes on the Titantron, is like, oh, wait, I forgot I promised a new face. And the Fiend comes up from under the ring and drags Daniel Bryan under the ring with him and starts pulling out a whole bunch of his hair.
The Fiend is like, if I was a kid, I would really legit be scared of the Fiend.
I am 27 years old, and the Fiend scares the shit out of me.
And he be like, when he screams, like, ah, ah, I was like, oh, that might be a Mankind a little bit. There's
like, I'll watch a segment with the Fiend or like an episode of the Funhouse, and I just look at my TV like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah,
it's odd. It's really odd. The Fiend, man. I want to talk about the Fiend real quick because I feel like what do you think they can do with the Fiend because it's the problem with supernatural characters, right?
Yeah.
How do you beat them? With the Undertaker, it was kind of that same issue at first, and then they brought the urn into play, all the powers in the urn, and then heel wrestlers figured that out, and they use that to kind of neutralize him. How do you neutralize the Fiend? What what can they do to kind of get out of that hole that they? I don't say they dug themselves into a hole, but I say they kind of backed themselves into a corner. How can they get out of that corner? Do you think?
Sister Abigail. Like really get someone to be Sister Abigail. I seen a dude throw out an idea of who was that? Was it not Alexa Bliss? What is she? She was part of Riot Squad.
Ruby Riot?
Not Ruby.
Liv Morgan.
Yeah, they're talking about Liv
Yeah,
Morgan.
I've been hearing a lot about Liv
Yeah,
Morgan
be
being with the
like
Fiend too.
Sister Abigail. I mean, yeah, put it in like perspective. Like I love how the way they did Kane and Undertaker, where it was like, even though wrestling was different back then, but we thought Undertaker family really burnt up, and like his brother wasn't there. And like when Paul Bearer was like, "Oh, I spoke to Kane," like, what? Kane?
Mm-hmm.
He must be dead. He must be. Wait, he's still living? So like Sister Abigail's always been like that kind of like they kind of touched on it, but they never really have. And to make the Fiend lose, his weakness is his sister for some reason. He loves Bray Wyatt, love his sister to death. So to be his weakness, yeah, find a way to incorporate Sister Abigail.
I think that'd be the best way to do it, but also I don't know how they would introduce it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could have Daniel Bryan bring him in, but I don't know.
Well, you have to bring like another dark character.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you do it the same way that they did Kane, right?
Yeah.
When Kane debuted and Kane comes out and the Undertaker doesn't know what to do. He just stands there.
Yeah,
and
you
looks
can use Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan was part of the Wyatt family for a
True.
minute. He was like, basically, Sister Abigail is just upset at Bray for letting her down for all these years, and now that you popping, you don't really fuck with me no more. And so, yeah,
That's true. So, I mean,
yo, WWE,
cut the check, Vince.
For real, we over here fantasy booking like
cut the check, Vince 2.0.
Yo, we don't need no.
It's gonna be the second time our neighbor episode. Cut the check, Vince. Cut the check.
We don't need no 7-year writing degree, Vince. We got the ideas right here.
I don't need to have written for Old and the Beautiful.
Give us the check, man. We got the ideas, bro. We just laid out a whole blueprint right there. Because I would say, feed them to Brock, but then who Brock has killed a lot of people, so it's like there's really nobody. I don't want to see him go against Randy Orton no more.
Who? If they really wanted to put the Fiend over, have him beat Brock, like easily,
definitively, yeah.
like that would put him over.
But that put him in a bigger hole because it's like who can defeat this guy then? Like Brock is the Fat Joe and Def Jam.
Oh my God, that dude, Fat Joe is so tough to beat in that damn game. I used to hate it. Like, why you got hands like this? You fat. You should be moving like this. Like, he was hard as hell to beat. Yeah. But hey, cut the check, Vince. That's all I want to say. Because you need the check cut because your Monday night show is suffering, and so you need to get something going on. We had a Raw. I didn't think Raw was bad. It just wasn't good. Like your first hour was really just one long segment that was in chapters. Yeah. The show starts with Seth Rollins coming out and he apologizes for everything he said the week before during his town hall meeting. Kevin Owens comes out and he says, everything you just said is some bullshit. He actually said bullshit. AEW has Vince McMahon allowing the word shit to be said on his programming now.
Hey.
So like shout out to AEW for that.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Owens was like, "Hey Seth, you got the AOP coming out here. I'm pretty sure you were the ones that said it. You were the one that sucked. Is it sicked? Is that you sicked them on me?
Yeah.
Last week." And Seth was like, "Nah, nah, 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 nah."
Wait.
Nah, 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 nah. And Seth Rollins is like, "Hey fam, let's whoop AOP right now. Team up with me, Kev. We can take them right now." I really appreciate WWE making Kevin Owens a smart babyface, because sometimes babyfaces in wrestling are dumb as hell. Kevin Owens, he saw the jig, he knew what was up. And AOP leaves, Seth Rollins leaves. Kevin Owens like, "I got my gear on. Somebody come out here and face me." And Bobby Lashley came out. Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens had a okay match.
Why did
AOP,
they have Bobby Lashley back this week? I don't understand that. Rusev pushed that big ass thing on you. You supposed to be gone for like a week or two. Like,
he had this big ass elbow brace on. I guess.
Oh my god!
I guess he's okay.
Man.
Bobby Lashley came out. AOP interfered, attacked Kevin Owens. They drug him backstage. Nobody knows where the hell Kevin Owens went. But when Lana and Bobby Lashley came out, they had police escorts because Rusev has another restraining order in where are they at? Nashville. But Bobby Lashley and Lana attacked the police officers and ended up getting arrested, even though Rusev violated his restraining order. They're the ones that got arrested. Man, this storyline is crazy. But all that took up an hour overall. Yeah. But Drew McIntyre, Kira Tozawa had an okay match. Drew McIntyre got on the mic and called out Randy Orton, and the OC came out, and OC was like, Drew Mac was like, shit, y'all don't need me out here. I'm gonna take my ass back to the locker room. Y'all can handle whatever y'all need to handle. The OC's attacks Randy Orton. Ricochet, Humberto Carrillo, and Rey Mysterio come out to save Randy Orton. Really random. Why are you guys saving Randy Orton? I don't know. Aleister Black, Tony Nese, it was whatever. It's just good to see, Akira Tozawa and Tony Nese getting some time, man. Getting some time on Monday Night Raw. Buddy Murphy was talking his shit still. Andrade and Eric Young, another random thrown together match. It was really competitive, but I would really like something to be done with Andrade. He's been on, how long has he been on the main roster? Like going on 2 years now?
Yeah.
He hasn't had a feud aside from Rey Mysterio the whole time he's been back.
That was just like matches.
Yeah, that was really just them having matches here and there. It wasn't even like a legit feud.
At this point, it seemed like he needs to be paired with someone.
I don't know.
Like, put him in a tag team. Like, put him in like a cool tag team. And like, I know
Angel Garza.
Yeah, maybe Humberto Carrillo's been killing it too. By the way,
they changed Humberto Carrillo's music, and I do not appreciate that.
Really,
I do not appreciate that. Change the music back, man. Like that Dale Gas, that was hard. Like his music, I mean, his new music is kind of nice too, but like it's not Dale Gas.
Dale Gas.
They be changing shit for no reason. They changed the OC's music.
You can never have a last name neither.
Like when I hear the OC's music, I don't know who they are. It don't register with me for like 5 seconds, and then they show them come out. I was like, oh, it's the OC.
Yeah.
Like, change the last name. I think they started to see the mistake on the last names though. Like Mustafa Ali got his first name back a few weeks ago.
Thank God.
Yeah, because calling him Ali was not the wave.
Right.
It's so generic. That's like if you had
Where is Cedric Alexander hurt?
Nah, he lost to Mojo Rawley on main event.
Almost cussed.
Almost. Yeah, All know what they do with my boy, man. Get him out here. Shout out to Kyle Busch. Las Vegas' own Kyle Busch won the 24/7 title. If you don't know who Kyle Busch is, NASCAR racer. 24/7 champ, man. Eric Rowan and No Way Jose. Another boring thrown together match. The matches on this card were
No Way
not
Jose.
really that good. I mean, like Drew McIntyre, Kyrgios was short. It was pretty cool. Andrade Eric Young was cool.
How
Kevin
is No Way
Owens,
Jose
Lashley was
still
cool.
they're here?
I don't know. Stop trying to look and see what's in Eric Rowan's cage because that pisses him off. And Jose's conga line did the same thing and he beat the shit out of those guys. What's in the bag, Rowan? What's in the bag, dude? I don't know.
Where's Luke Harper?
I don't know where Luke Harper is at either.
Where's the Ascension? They're still here. Why are they still?
I always forget they're on the roster. I always forget.
That's funny.
Charlotte lost to the Kabuki Warriors in a really, really, really competitive handicap match. I seen people complaining about it being a competitive match. It was good.
Yeah.
It was the first women's match on the show, and it took like 2 hours for that to happen. I enjoyed it though. It was a good match. The ending was very, very dope. Charlotte put the figure 8 on Asuka in the corner, and Kairi Sane like snuck a tag in, and she hit the insane elbow in the middle of the figure 8.
Yeah.
Fire. It's a dope end.
I love them as a tag team.
They're really good together. My main complaint is that with them being a tag team, you take an already thin women's division on Raw, and you make it thinner. That's really my only complaint about the Kabuki Warriors being together. But they're very entertaining, and I'm glad they're getting some.
But I think the women needs a for real tag team. Like they weren't doing nothing with Asuka and Kairi anyway. And like now they're seeming to become like a legitimate tag team, like not just something that's thrown together. I like it. I hope they stay together for a long time, honestly.
Absolutely.
And I still want my strong style faction to come together one day. But
facts, man. Viking Warriors, Viking Raiders, War Raiders defeated I don't know, a pair of local jobbers. Can we stop?
Why are they wrestling jobbers still?
Like they've been wrestling jobbers for like 7 months now. Like stop it, dude. Come on, they the champs.
Right.
You got the OC doing whatever with AJ Styles. I don't know what other tag teams do they have on Raw. Off the top of my head, I can't think of none.
Where are the Usos, man?
Besides the AOP, the Usos. God. I thought the Usos would have been back.
Like, what are they waiting for?
Like the Usos are I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. You have a really small tag division. You have a really thin women's division. You need to do WWE needs to do some work. I don't know, what's going on here. They probably should have called up some women from NXT a couple months ago. So now it don't really make sense since you're trying to establish NXT as that third brand.
Yeah,
their women's division is fire, but like on the main roster, you've kind of had the same faces at the top of the card for the past 4 years, and it's starting to show that you need some more. You need some more women in there. Nia Jax should be coming back soon. That should help. Naomi coming back. That should help a little bit. I don't know where Ember Moon got drafted to SmackDown, no?
I think so.
Yeah, so I don't even know when she'll be back. Ronda coming back could help whenever that is. But yeah, the Raw and SmackDown's women's divisions are kind of thin.
Yeah.
It's really the blaring dull spot across, especially since the women's division has kind of been a strong point in WWE the past few years. It's right now it's not in a good spot.
Yeah, with the brand,
really, really top heavy.
Yeah. Who knows?
So I mean, you got get Sarah Logan on TV. I see they're trying to showcase Dana Brooke a little bit more, which is dope. She was on SmackDown this past week.
Okay.
Carmella is Carmella. She does a thing. Liv Morgan, bring her back in.
Yeah.
Have her do something. Get Sarah Logan, have her do something. She was on a Survivor Series team randomly. But have her team up with the Raiders or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Do something
WWE
new with Becky too, because it's getting kind of boring.
I'm bored too.
Yeah.
I like Becky. I'm bored. So one last thing before we wrap up, man. I was bored the other day, so I watched WrestleMania 30.
Okay.
If you don't remember, WrestleMania 30 featured the first ever loss at WrestleMania to The Undertaker. And to this day, I still watch it and I remember exactly how I felt when it happened. I made the same face as the one black dude that was sitting ringside. Like I literally made the same face, and then the camera cut to him, and I was like, we making the same face. I feel you. Because I was like, what the hell? Because I was legit shocked. I didn't know that The Undertaker would ever lose at Mania.
Right.
But he lost. And I don't know what's the most shocking moment. Just pick one. But in the last 5 years, aside from that, what's the most shocking moment that you think has happened in WWE or just wrestling in general?
I thought we were talking about at WrestleMania. But the one for me is I remember Sting losing at WrestleMania, his first match.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H. I thought that was like
that kind of shocked me too.
That was a huge shocker to me because I'm like, I decided this is like made for him to win, you know what I'm saying? And they were like, nope, fuck y'all. Triple H.
I think with from that same show, Seth Rollins cashing in the Money in the Bank. That's one of my. I said to pick one, but since you brought up that show, that just came to mind.
That was a good WrestleMania too.
That was, you followed up WrestleMania 30 with WrestleMania 31. That's like Godfather Part 1 and Godfather Part 2.
Bro, have you watched The Irishman yet?
I have not watched it yet.
When you have a date, you're just not doing nothing. Please watch that.
Cause that's what I was about to say. I have finals and stuff coming up. I don't have time to watch that movie right now.
But that movie is 3 hours long.
Once it's over, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
My personal shocking moment of the last 5 years was the Royal Rumble in 2016. Entrant number 3. Some music plays. I don't know who the hell music is.
Me neither, but I knew who it was right away.
I didn't know who it was because I didn't read any rumors or anything. Out comes AJ Styles on my TV.
Oh my goodness, man!
Debuting at the Royal Rumble.
Yes, sir.
Debuting in a WWE title match at that. I was like, what the hell? I didn't hear anything about AJ Styles possibly going to WWE. I didn't even know where AJ Styles had been. I didn't watch New Japan or anything. I didn't know. And so he showed up on the TV. I was like, AJ Styles in WWE? What the hell?
The same reaction I have for the Hardy Boys is the same reaction I have for AJ Styles. All my life, I always had one favorite WWE wrestler and one favorite outside of WWE wrestler. And it was Jeff Hardy, of course, WWE, and AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, Jeff Hardy wasn't there for a while. And then when I didn't find out to the date of, like, there was talks of him really might be in there. And I'm like, nah, man, because that's what AJ Styles was really on his solo, like, but he just was kicked out the Bullet Club, like, I want to say a week before, 2 weeks before. So I'm like, I know he gonna get his lick
Tokyo
back.
Dome show?
Yeah, I'm like, I know he gonna get his lick back on the Bullet Club. So I'm like, he ain't no way he can sign. But like when they start playing that music, and AJ Styles always really had like some fire theme music.
Yeah.
I was
you are,
yeah,
I am.
oh my God. And when I heard that, I was like, "Yep, that's him. That's him." And yeah, it was history from there.
I think AJ Styles debuting was the last time I really like legitimately got shocked at something that's occurred in wrestling. I wasn't shocked when Jon Moxley debuted at AEW because I had been talking about it the whole weekend. I was like, he gotta be coming. I knew that was
we always thought it was like him or like CM Punk, but it was more towards him than CM Punk.
And speaking of CM Punk, aside from him coming back to compete, what's a shocking moment that is possible to occur in 2020? What's something that a return or a debut was something that either one of these companies could possibly pull off? What's left to pull off aside from CM Punk?
Honestly, I have no idea. I think all eyes is on CM Punk because I think people forget when Goldberg returned to WWE, he said too, I'm not signed with WWE. I'm just here for the video game. And I'm signed with the video game. And the next thing you know, he had a match. 2020, probably towards the end of 2020, I feel like we're going to get a CM Punk in WWE.
You think we're gonna have to wait that long?
Yeah. Just to make it seem, like real. You know what I mean? Because CM Punk, he has been very vocal of when he's not doing something. So, and like he's not lying either. Like, how many times did they say he was gonna be at an AEW show? And he was like, "No, I'm not."
You don't think he's working the crowd? You don't think he's working like people on Twitter?
I mean, those one works. So I don't know. I mean, I would like to see him come back. I would like to see him come back before WrestleMania and have a match at WrestleMania, as long as it's not a tag team match. Make it a legitimate match. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's worth us seeing. And not against Seth Rollins.
You don't want to see against Seth?
Nah.
I wouldn't mind it, but I think you have a much more natural story in him facing a Triple H.
Yeah.
You can even put it as like a Triple H's retirement match. You can even make it a retirement match between the two. It was like one of us has to go. I will go back. I just want to beat you. And if I can't beat you, I don't need to be here. And Triple H is like, you're on. See, that's the thing. You come back and you want to run things, knowing damn well you couldn't run things 6 years ago, which is why you tucked your tail in between your legs and left. And that's why we fired your ass on your wedding day.
Yeah. They say some shocking stuff like that.
You know, you gotta do the whole like reality thing.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing, Seth Rollins. Oh, I'm sorry. See, that's the thing, CM Punk. You couldn't cut it here before. What makes you think you can cut it here now?
All right. I don't know,
you can always come down to NXT and we can really show you how things are done.
Maybe Dominic debuting in NXT.
I heard Dominic might be starting at the Performance Center early next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Not at all.
But I want Dominic and Ray to win like the tag titles or something.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Like that's a WrestleMania moment. That's gonna happen at a WrestleMania. So
it's definitely happening at Mania this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be happening. When I don't.
That's not really shocking though. I think we see that coming.
I want to see Aleister Black get a push this year.
Could Aleister Black be the one to introduce Sister Abigail?
Oh my God, yes. He could be the one to take down the Fiend.
That'd be huge.
Yes.
That'd be huge, man.
Yes. Perfect. Vince, listen.
Cut the check, Vince.
Please. Tired of working this job.
Man, listen. I'm tired of working these jobs. I gotta work. Listen, I gotta work the rodeo, man. I am not looking forward to having to be on my feet for 8 out of 10 days in the next few weeks during finals. Finals. So I got a final tomorrow that I'm not fully prepped for yet. That I need to finish up a little bit.
You're gonna be Mean Gene.
I have a presentation on Thursday. I got another final next week. I got 2 finals next Wednesday, and then I'm done for this semester. This semester's been kicking my ass, and it is over soon. I can't wait. I can't wait to get back home again. I was home for like 5 days. I want to be home a little bit longer. I did not get to see all my friends that I wanted to. I don't think I saw any of my friends. It is what it is.
Oh, I know another thing I feel like might happen.
What's up?
The 4 horsewomen versus the 4 horsewomen. I feel like there's a possibility we can see that.
That's one of my hot takes, man.
I hope so.
That's one of my hot takes.
They just got to get something going with the lackeys.
Yeah,
like if they get something,
nobody cares about them at all.
We don't even know them. We see them wrestling with the women's classic.
They were in the Mae Young. I think I don't know who they fought. They teamed up on NXT TV.
They're not doing nothing.
2 months ago. But other than that, I don't know. Like they come out here. They help Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. They're not interesting at all. I don't like their look. They wrestle in Forever 21 t-shirts.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they were in MMA for a while too. Both. I don't know their record or anything like that, but
probably trash.
Yeah, I mean, give them something so we can at least have some type of reason to care about them. Not just, oh, Ronda's here. Let's just throw these other 2 women we know nothing about in there.
Yeah, they need to relax.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Man, Young Kings Wrestling, you already know the drill. Follow us everywhere, YK Wrestling.
Yes, sir.
On Twitter, on Instagram. Facebook does not get updated as often as it should.
Yeah, I was going to update our YK Sports Facebook, but it's like refusing to let me change the name of it. So I'm like, well, forget it.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. You can follow me on Instagram. I haven't changed it yet. I said last week I was possibly thinking of changing it. I have not changed anything yet. But you can follow me on Instagram at @iContra_. You can follow Malik. What is it again?
Malik.lv Instagram. That's it.
Yeah, man. Follow Young Kings Wrestling on wherever you listen to your podcast at. So next episode, when it comes up and gets uploaded. And subscribe, rate us, tell everybody about us, man. This Saturday we have TNA Impact Wrestling No Surrender. It's a small card, but I just want to say probably gonna lose, but Rich Swann, go ahead and win that Impact World Championship this weekend, bro. So we can
please do
prop you up. We got a black champ in Impact. Yep. I want to see that happen. He's probably gonna lose though, just because next month at Hard to Kill pay-per-view, we have Sami Callihan is scheduled to face Tessa Blanchard for the Impact World Championship.
What? Why do they? Okay, all right, that's it. Let's wrap this up.
So with that being said, that's already a feud that's been going on for all year. So I'm pretty sure Rich Swann is gonna lose, but it is what it is. I watched I don't know if we were recording or not when I said this. I watched TNA this week. It was really entertaining. ODB is back.
Hey,
so shout out to ODB. I didn't know Petey Williams was still there doing his thing, and Rob Van Dam is really entertaining, man. I just want to say that. He got 2 girls. He got 2 girlfriends like Lou Williams. So. RVD living a life, man.
Yes,
RVD, Tommy Dreamer, and Rhino were all in a segment together in 2019 on TNA Impact.
You know, Impact love them some ECW.
They love ECW.
I mean, if Impact could have did ECW, I think it would have been done right. If we're being real. They 2 shows they had wasn't that bad with the ECW originals.
I don't know.
They're what's the name of that show?
Hardcore Justice.
Hardcore Justice, yeah. And then they had I think it was like 2 years in a row they brought out like the ECW legends. It's pretty entertaining.
Hey, ECW will never die.
Never.
It will never die. So shout out to ECW.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Hey man, it's Malik, man. He's TC.
It's TC.
I'm TC. He's Malik. Hey, you listen to the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast, and as always, man, what do we say on here?
I don't know. Have a good day.
Hey, always speak your piece, man.
Yes, sir.
You always speak your piece, but don't speak it too much.
And be a young king.
Be a young king, man. Check out the Young King Sports Podcast as well.
Yes, so shout out to Darrell Gibbs.
Shout out to Darrell Gibbs. He next up.
Yes, sir.
Next up, man. I didn't know who he was before I listened to the podcast. He got his first pro fight win.
Sometime in January.
Okay.
So he don't have a date yet, but
he's a quote unquote taking the Devin Haney route.
So. Yes, sir. And we might be having Lights goalie Thomas Olsen pretty soon. So
hey, look out for that. Las Vegas Lights,
yes, sir.
Semi-pro soccer team here in Las Vegas. So we got a lot of local stuff coming up. So we're coming up here, man. Checking out the
next week.
Future Stars of Wrestling show, Natural Born Killers 2. We'll be checking that out here. Loaded card. I can't wait for that one. It should be fun.
Yes, sir.
And, it is what it is, as always. TLC coming up in a few weeks. I don't know how much interest I'm going to have in wrestling the next few weeks, but I'm going to try my best. I'll be working during Raw, and I'll be working during SmackDown.
Dang.
So I won't get to watch it, but I'm gonna still keep up with it because I gotta feed y'all this content.
Yes, sir.
Hey, as always, man, we appreciate y'all for listening. If you listen this far, it's the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. We are out of here.
Later.